Okay, this is the second video that I've made so far today. The first one was about 40 minutes long. I'm still not sure if I'm going to put this one out or the 40-minute version, but I'm making a shorter version just in case. This is an update video. It's been a while since I've uploaded, for sure. Actually, this has been inspired by Mr. Will Derbyshire's update video that he put out recently, where he was not apologizing for just disappearing for a few months, but just saying like, yeah, this is life, you know? This is life. And my life this year, guys, this year has been the best year of my life, hands down. And that sounds really weird to say that now. We're nearly in November. It's Halloween today, it's 31st of October. Happy Halloween, whatever the fuck Halloween is. But this year has been amazing. It's been definitely the best year of my life, particularly the last 6 months. Ella and I have been together, and it's not just because of Ella. Obviously, Ella's had a huge part to play because I am, how do I describe it? Okay, I did not know that love like this even existed. So if anybody's doubting the love between Ella and I will literally do anything for that woman. Like, I am deadly serious. I have never been more in love in my whole life, and I am fearless in saying that. I'm entirely fearless in saying that. So that's a big thing. And the other big thing that's happened is that I've started to understand my emotions. I've started to build up a bit of intelligence around them, so that when I feel something, I recognize it. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold now, I've got hiccups. Anyway, so when I feel anxious, I recognize it. I'm like, anxiety, where is it coming from? What's triggered it? What can I do about it? Can we talk about it? Yeah, we can talk about it. Oh, now that we talk about it, I don't feel quite so bad. Next time I won't get anxious. Communication this year has been a huge one for me. Communication, boundaries, emotional intelligence, and just self-love coming in. Because I've been searching for something this year. I've been searching for something my whole life, actually. And something that has just never been quite met by things like religion or anybody's previous explanations to me of what life is and why we are here and why we have consciousness. Been asking a lot of big questions. Why for my whole life have I felt so confident in being me, and then all of a sudden this year I'm like, whoa, this is the real me. Like, I like the real me, like a lot. Yeah, it's just a lot of big awakenings. Oh, you know where it all started? When I finally let myself spill those emotions out, crying, like, you know, those like gut-wrenching cries that you have where you're so good for you, purging all that emotion out. You know, you feel better after you've had a good cry often. That's because you're releasing that that emotion that's been pent up physically in your body. You're releasing that. That's why it feels so good. And crying about things specifically will heal those things specifically. So just like opening up to people and talking about things and getting myself into a flow state of healing where I'm having a discussion and I have a realization and I don't hold it back. I just say, actually, this is why this is like this, and that's why I behave like that. And then I'll realize something big and I'll have a big cry about it. Maybe it's something that's happened to me in the past. Maybe it's something to do with my parents. Maybe it's something to do with my grandparents, my sister, my family. All these big like things that have happened to me, not necessarily traumatic things, but just big events that have happened in my life that kind of set the way that you react and behave to certain things. So when you can start unraveling those, you find the true peace within yourself where you don't like angrily react to bad drivers, like I've learned from my dad. My dad doesn't do that anymore, he's super chilled. But when he was super stressed, like driving us around. Of course, I just learned how to behave in a car from my dad, and he gets super angry, and I get angry at bad drivers too, because I'm like, you're in my way. I've got somewhere to be. Can't you see I'm doing things? Like, how dare you slow me down? That was my attitude towards things, you know, and that's just a horrible, angry way of living. So when someone cuts me up in a car, I'll probably, now, the other day I was like, and then I was like, I don't feel angry, so why am I saying that? And it's because it's a repeat learned behavior. And now I do get angry still, of course, but a lot less, and I don't actually feel anxious. It doesn't get me riled up. It's not a waste of my energy. I'm protecting my energy from things that are happening around me that I can't control. Besides, people who are bad drivers aren't driving around going, haha, I'm a fucking bad driver, you guys are getting fucked over. They're just driving, they're just doing their thing, they're on their own journey. There's things that I do badly that piss people off all the time, like uploading. That's a joke. Anyway, it's been a big year. I've been learning a lot about self-love. I've been learning to get over my middle-class, white, British, blue-eyed, blonde-haired, male, privileged existence. Guilt that comes with that is so real. How dare you not be killing it? Like, you have all these opportunities laid out for you. Well, actually, I was born into this world a human being, not a human doing. We are obsessed with doing, because we're obsessed with being liked. And the people who do the most are usually the ones that are the most liked. So if you can find peace within yourself, just yourself, and not rely on anybody else or doing things or Lamborghinis or Yeezys to be happy, that's peace. And then when you wear your Yeezys driving your Lamborghini, you're like, well, this is cool, but at least I'm happy within, you know? I can't find happiness from outside. You've got to learn it from within. So that's another big thing that I've been working on this year. And now, moving forwards, let's talk about my work. So I've started shooting a little bit on film again, photos, which I'm really enjoying, and it's bringing me back to my art. And the art is the reason that I'm actually here. Because the art is the way that I communicate my emotions and my feelings to you guys and to other people, so that I can be like, look at this thing, it makes me feel like this, and you go, oh, also makes me feel like this, and I go, cool, because we're both humans. Okay, cool. That's all art is. Like, it's just a way of connecting with people on emotions that we can relate to, and it comes in all sorts of shapes and forms. So when I start having to monetize my art, you're going to be giving some of that away. To stay truly genuine to your art and your creativity and make money from it is very difficult. So that's the problem that I'm trying to solve at the moment. And I feel like we're getting there, definitely. And I put a lot of work over the last few years into getting myself into this position. I'm very thankful for my previous self for grafting so hard. I'm thankful to my parents for teaching me to graft so hard and to grab all the opportunities that my privileged self has been given. And now we're here. So now what do I do with it? Do I carry on telling you guys that you need things and just trying to sell you things so that I can buy more things for myself and a bigger house and a bigger this and a better car and this? Or do I follow what feels right in here? What's my purpose? Like, why am I here? I have a community here. What's really important to me? What's really important to me has been highlighted in my comment section several times over the last few months, which has triggered the fuck out of me and made me so upset and angry at how disrespectful people can be to myself, Nicole, and Ella, and my family, and my friends, but particularly me, Nicole, and Ella. Like, people's journeys are messy and beautiful. And Nicole is a queen. She is an incredibly powerful woman, and she is amazing, and I was incredibly lucky to spend so much time by her side. And to compare her with other women, especially when it's women also comparing, is not cool at all, and I won't stand for it. but I do understand why it's happening. It's because you don't feel like we have an actual human connection. We've never met. If you're giving me comments like that and responding to me, and this is like 1% of my audience, by the way, and people are always like, fuck the haters, don't you listen to them. Those guys are the people who need love the most. Like, if you feel like you can treat people online that way, it's probably because you don't have a lot of good human interaction in real life. Happy people don't leave nasty comments. Shaming and blaming is a projection of fear from people. So, just like me, when I'm triggered by something or someone, that's me, that's not them. So if you're triggered by my long hair, or my crystals, or Ella's beautiful beaming ray of light, and relentless just being herself, if you're triggered by that, that's you, and that's fine. In fact, that's the most human thing ever. You're just triggering a feeling, but you can unravel that shit. You don't have to be triggered by people. You can love other humans and be in love with other humans. And this is what I'm trying to teach myself to do. And I've fallen back in love with humans. I'm happy being a human in 2018. That's something I can say hand on heart. I'm happy to be a human in 2018. I wasn't happy to be a human last year. I was like, why are we living in this age where we've got this beautiful network of communication, but people are only doing it to doing things like that put each other down. So I thank all those people who have been putting like negative comments in front of me in my life, because it's actually reminded me of or given me some real purpose behind all of this, which is community. And the community is the most important thing around art, which is our communication and our medium with which we speak to each other and discuss. This is the reason we come together. But our community is really important to me. But it's important because I want to bring us together on a human level, not just on an internet level. I guess I want to do in the future maybe some live event stuff, or I don't know, just continuing to help people be aware that don't say something to someone online that you wouldn't say to their face, because you're sending them that negative energy. And it doesn't matter how much you say fuck all the haters and don't listen to these dickheads. I listen to them because it's a reminder that everybody needs love. Those people more than anything. Because you must be hurting so hard inside to be saying things like that are so nasty to people. So compassionate human connection is what is saving and will save us. Disconnection is what's scary and fearful, but for some reason we drive into it. We push into that negative space. And I think it's because we're scared of our actual potential as humans. We like to be bound and held back, because suddenly if the chains are off and we can do whatever we want, we think that we're gonna fail. We know we're gonna fail. Nobody gets anywhere without failing. And it's this mind frame shift that is an age-old classic. It's oh, you gotta fail and fail and fail. You keep doing things until you're good at them. Nobody's good at things straight off the bat, and etc., etc. It's the same with everything in life. Including me and my emotional intelligence and healing process and everything. I'm learning, I'm failing, I'm learning, I'm failing. And the universe will continue to deliver you the same lessons over and over again until you learn them. And then you can move on. So, the universe delivered me a motorcycle accident. And it could not have been better timing. I was just running myself into the ground, just trying to do, and looking for success that was defined by other people. So define your own success. What does it mean for you to be happy? What does that look like? What does it feel like? Is that based upon what society tells you need to be happy? A big old house and a fast car and the latest shoes and a t-shirt that's $150 with a red thingy on it that basically you wear to say, I can afford a ridiculously expensive t-shirt. Ego. Something that I'm really having to work on. It's a difficult one for me because like I've done a lot of difficult shit in my life that's hard to achieve, and it's really hard to like check your ego, especially when I'm so confident with myself, which is actually just my personality. And there's a big difference between like being confident and having like a boosted ego. And it's something I do every single day. Even in a situation like right now where I'm so confidently speaking to you guys, I have to check my ego. Be like, I'm confident in saying all of this stuff because I've been working on it for a few months, but I've only been working on it for a few months. So check your ego. I'm learning just the same way you're learning. I'm a human just the way you're a human. And yeah, when you check your ego and you realize that you were serving it for so long, you actually don't need much, simple life. So that's what I'm aiming for, a bit more of a simple life. Just try not to overcomplicate my journey too much. Yeah, just be a human, basically. So that's kind of where I'm going. I'm still going to be doing art. There's going to be art for those who want art, photography, film, travel, positive vibes. All of these things are still here. I'm still the same person. I'm just evolving. I'm just following my purpose. I'm finding what it is that I want to really do. I don't want to be a daily video blogger because it doesn't make me happy. That was a huge part of my life and a huge chunk of my journey that was imperative to get me to where I am now. And where we're going, who knows? I don't want to make any promises because I want to be free to change and evolve and adapt my journey the way I see fit. This is what I want you guys to do as well. This is why I'm communicating this, is because I can highly recommend it, guys. It's so freeing when you address the traumas that you've been through, and when you speak to and open up and trust people about the difficult things in life and have a good cry and just let that shit all come out. There's nothing that feels more wholesome for you than that. It makes you strong. And that's the feminine way. Scary for men. Men aren't allowed to cry. That's the problem. Men must be strong. We must work until we die and pay for all the things and rescue all the women, all the damsels out there that are in distress. We must be strong for them. That's what Disney's taught us. The feminine is fucking strong. It's stronger than you and me, dudes. And the more you can accept and push and help the feminine movement, I promise you, your life will become bliss. Honestly, it's the feminine in me that wants to cry and release and sit and just sit with myself rather than go rah, 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 like a man. Sit with yourself and accept yourself and become like very at home with yourself and your emotions. That's the feminine way. And it's what our world needs right now because it's fucking scary. Like, we have a lot of crazy, powerful, misogynistic, greedy men that are running the world, and it obviously isn't working. It's not working. So, Team Feminine, and I can say that with no fear, which is nice. Like, it doesn't really, I don't find that confronting to say that. It doesn't trigger me. The only thing I'm feeling right now that's triggering about speaking about feminism like this is that I know there's going to be a shitload of dudes that are just going to be like, rah, 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 rah. And that's okay. That's fine too. I'm actually not that bothered about that at all. But yeah, Ella and I are fantastic. We've never been better. Look, we've got like our little zen den that we're making back here. We've got loads of plants that are growing really nicely. I'm starting to get back into my running, so if you check me on Strava, you've seen that I've been doing a few bits of running. I've also injured myself, so I'm going to get back in the swimming pool and start swimming. There's a film coming up that I've been working on that I shot in Scotland, which I'm really excited to share with you guys. And there's just like the biggest fucking project in the whole world that I keep half telling you guys about and half not, but I'm going to stop talking about it and start continue to actually make it happen, because this is like the thing that I'm going to leave behind, I think, in my life. And it's very, very important to me that I do it right the first time. So that's exciting to come up, and it has a lot to do with art. It's based around art and humans and connectivity and consciousness and humanity and love. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff on the horizon, guys. And I also want to start doing a podcast, because like 22 minutes in, I obviously love to chat. And the podcast is just a lot easier, I think, to hold a forum and have other guests and have people. I'm not going to be like preachy too much on the podcast. It's going to be more discussions. I want to have guests in here, a bit like Joe Rogan and his podcasts. I just want to create a platform for discussion of things that I think are really important. But yeah, stay groovy, homies. I'm gonna just slightly adapt my outro to work hard on yourself, be nice to people, and try not to get lost or killed. I love you so much, guys. I will see you very, very soon. Check me out on the old Instagram if you want the daily updates. And yeah, much love. Peace.